see how we can network, because we're trying to see if we can reach out to have a partnership here with real estate companies in Dubai, and also we are looking for in Nigeria, and also we are looking for to maybe represent those who are here in Hungary, because now we are having the number of Hungarians, nationals and citizens who are interested in the Dubai market is like an increase, and so we wanted to take the opportunity. Then I was like thinking, I told her that, do you think out of, if you rate it 1 to 10, what's the possibility that when we arrive here, you will be here? I was like, we don't know, because I was thinking you're already here, and then the next thing you're in Nigeria. I was like, oh, this is why he calls himself the eagle, you know? It's everywhere at any time. So when we just saw it, and I saw that you arrived, and I was like, we will do anything. I don't care about the schedule, we'll make sure we make it. And we only got to see the video yesterday evening, because I've been trying to reach out to you guys since Sunday, and then finally.
So this is like God put it in our heart for you guys, because you came all the way from Hungary thinking you'll meet me, and here you are. That's good. That's exciting. So let's meet you too.
Yes, so my name is Agnes Urban, and yeah, we are working together. We have a real estate company in Hungary. We are based mostly in Debrecen, but we are working in the capital too, and in other university cities too. So we are working in sales, rentals, property management, and yes, we are operating since 2017, and by the time we reached here, like the international community who we are working with, it increased a lot. We have a lot of customers from Dubai as well, and as my partner mentioned, there is an increase in interest for Hungarians to invest out in Dubai as well, and also we had already customers from Dubai who are interested in buying properties in Hungary, so that's why we thought that it can be a great cooperation too, and we can learn from each other. Definitely.
Beautiful. Awesome. So you're co-founder of the
Royal Agency.
Okay. What the name again is?
Royal Agency.
Royal Agency. You're welcome. Yes.
Yeah, my name is Kofo Adelebe. I'm from Nigeria. I'm into real estate in Dubai here, and my company name is called Faisal Ali Properties. This company has been on for the past 17 years now. So because I used to work in Sheraton, Nigeria, from Nigeria I moved to Qatar. So I've been in Dubai now for almost 21 years, since 2000. So I've seen the ups and downs of Dubai, and I've been busy my brokerage and selling of properties in Dubai, even before ERA. Before ERA came in 2007. So our company has been on for 3 years ahead. I mean 3 years before ERA. So, and I've been following you on the online also, looking at the Nigerian. We used to have office in Lagos, in Afolabi Island Street. But due to the situation in Nigeria now, for the past three years now, we closed the office. Because what we have been before is we try to promote all the exhibitions going on in Dubai, promote them to the Nigerian populace, and I make some brochure in those days. I have office in Afolabi Island Street, behind Alade Market. But situation, because I can't be here and be there. So I realized that I need to remain focused and be here. And,
One location.
Yeah. So, and we know the situation in Nigeria now, even with the exchange rate and all those things.
Yeah.
So it's not so easy doing business in Nigeria. And we have to salute people who believe in that agenda also.
That market.
Yeah. We know that there's a huge market there, there's a big market there. The risk profile is also very high.
Well, no risk, no reward.
I know. That's when you think of the stability.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That no risk, no reward.
Of course. But the security issue,
no risk,
so,
no reward.
But still, we know that the market, even
no
people
risk,
here
no
also,
reward.
they are also, most of them are also looking forward to do some business.
Exactly. No risk, no reward. The level of returns you get in Nigeria, you can't get it in Dubai. The rule still remains the same anywhere in the world. No risk, no reward. The places where there are more challenges will give you a lot lot more. So it's I tell people it's a personal decision, right? Do I want to play market? That are more stable, more guaranteed. And my rule is this: the bigger you get, the more you should begin to penetrate markets that are stable, right? But not at the beginning. At the beginning, you don't have capital, you don't have experience, so the entry barrier, is lower in places where there are challenges, right? Where there are challenges. So when you then become big, you now have the money, you now have the experience. It's now easier for you to penetrate, economies that are regulated, that are structured, So at that point, it's not really about making more. It's about preserving what has been made. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. It's about preserving what has been made, which is the reason why we now are beginning to expand to US, to UK, to here in Dubai and doing things. Because as we're growing bigger, we're now moving to markets that are more regulated, more stable, so as to preserve what has been made. But unfortunately, I think some of us are just so bothered about, it's not stable, it's not this, and we're not even asking ourselves, where do I stand to do well, right? Because of the entry barrier. We've seen Africans move to the Western world, right, and end up at the lowest of the lowest, right, from cab drivers to security workers to, lowest of the lowest. Meanwhile, when they were in Nigeria, they were here. Security issue was there. Whatever way, but they were still at this level, right? But now, they are in a place where things are stable and all of that, but they are not even, at the top. So, and that's what I tell people: a lizard in Africa will not turn to alligator in Dubai, right? So why not become an alligator wherever country you are, so that when you move to Dubai, you are still an alligator. And for me, that's how it works. GTEx is a big firm in Nigeria, very big. And so it's easy for us to be in Dubai and still play, at least in a big way. But when you look at even this hub, what the hundreds of millions of Nigerian naira that we have to convert to set up this place. You can't do it if you are not at a level. So I hope these are not people calling to come here.
Yes, it was, but I'll contact them.
Okay. So very important. So I think the phone may have to move same when we're trying to stream. Let's have those structure. Let's go ahead. The next time. Also, you need a mic. You should get it today. A mic that you can connect to the phone, and when we're having events, it could be in the middle, and so it captures all our voices. Else, when others are talking, it might not capture them. Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Olusegun Tunji, and I work with a company here called Plectrum Business Solutions, IT services, data center, Microsoft solutions. We sell those things and all that. But I also run a small company in Nigeria called Digivate 360, One of the major things we do is we train SMEs on, coming online, social media, the basic things. We're actually official partners with Facebook in Nigeria as well. And for the past 5 years, we've done about 55,000 businesses that we've trained. So we work with SMEs a lot on that part. Then we one or two interests in Rwanda as well. 10K Africa, I'm also a director there. So we're trying to see how we can, one of the things Doctor teaches us is to expand, learn. And so we're also following and trying to practice those things so that we're not just taking. So Rwanda is also one of the bases where we registered the company and we're working there. So basically, that's what I do in a nutshell, amongst other things. Thank you all.
You're welcome.
So hi everyone, good morning. My name is Abisola. So I'm the branch manager for GTEX Global here in Dubai. So here at GTEX Global, we have several subsidiaries from GTEX Homes to GTEX Toll, GTEX Document Clearance Service, and GTEX Homes Real Estate definitely. And also we have SEC Media Global. So for the GTEX Homes Real Estate, we are into the real estate rentals, leasing, and also selling of properties. Then the GTEX Hub, we have office space rentals for rent, for lease. Then also we also into business setup. That's where the document clearance service comes up. Then also we issue visa services here in Dubai, and we have a media company as well that does all the generality of media, marketing, and other things, podcast and video conference.
Okay. Well, so she's our country representative here. My name is Stephen Akintayo. I'm the founder of GTEX Global, a group of companies to real estate, agriculture, logistics, e-commerce. We're present in 4 continents: Nigeria, which stands for Africa, UAE for Middle East, London covers Europe, and Florida covers the Americas. And for me, like I said earlier, this event was put together because I feel CEOs need to begin to connect and share ideas and get to see ways to partner. This is one of the things that I think people don't understand about the role of a CEO. As an employee, okay, you go to work, okay, as an employer, who can guess? What do you do? Huh? Fill in the dash.
You employ people. But you also work on your business.
No, who else?
You work 24/7.
No, who else? Network. Yeah. Funny, there's work, right? So a lot of times CEOs miss this part. They think that the height of their job is sitting in the office and just just shuffling papers. No. The real key work you're supposed to be doing is networking. Once you are a CEO, a chief executive officer, because you are now doing more than the administrative role, which remember you have your COO to do more of that for you, right? More than that, you need to be the face of the brand. You are actually still the chief marketing officer. There are certain things people still want to see your face in, right? Even though you may not end up being the one to close everything, just your presence just still opens certain doors. Just people still know you are at least in that region, maybe the final person who is running that thing. And so if you do not invest in networking, right, as a CEO, you are leaving a lot of money on the table. So a lot of time, and this is where employees miss it, because you now see your boss is on the golf course this morning, tomorrow is having dinner, next tomorrow. So you begin to feel that, you know, it's just wasting time. We are the one working so hard, right? Our CEO is just chopping live. Meanwhile, what is it that you don't understand? That's really the work. That's really the business that you're doing there. Because you know why? The real yes that you're looking for is actually easier when we're playing golf.
Face to face.
Yes. And it's just the last 10 minutes of that golf session that I say, hey, by the way, because at that point I like it. Remember, people do business with those they what? They know, they like, and they what? They trust. While we're playing golf, what has happened? I know you now. Now, I like the way you play golf. I like you now. Kind of, I trust you now. Now I do business with you. Does it make sense at all? So if you don't get this part, particularly, and even some of you who are still co-owners or you're still employees, but you're already moving to the C-suites. And this is one of the secrets of C-suite executive. If I had to do a meeting with some of our team in Nigeria, because we're getting our C-suite, COO, CFO and all that. So I had to tell them, I said, look, there's a lot you will learn from these C-suite guys that will resume G-Text. And you need to know that they're not necessarily going to work harder. So if I don't break this down for you, you're going to be disappointed. You literally hate them. You'll be like, this guy come and they're collecting all the company money and we work so hard, to get here. And they don't even do much, right? What you need to know is that their job is not to do much. Their job is to what? Again? Network. Right? That money they will that may take them 6 months to bring or 3 months to bring can be more than the entire money the company has made in 13 years. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. Because now they are bringing contacts, relationships they've gathered in the last 15, 20 years. Right? So things just begin to happen like this. A lot faster. I'm not making sense at all. So remember, most of you here, who even are now CEOs or co-founders, you started as an employee is the most difficult thing to do. Migrating from E to what? To E. Right? Or you can say E to C. Right? Employee to what? To CEO. Isn't it? Difficult thing to do. This is the reason why you find yourself going back. A lot of you have tried to start a business and then you shut it down and got a job again. Let me see your hands. Be honest. 1, 2, right? Who else? You. So why did you raise your hand? Right? So you say, oh, I'm tired of the way my boss talked to me. What's the big deal? I can do this. I have the ideas. I'm the genius. I have the concept. So you start your company, right? Guess what? In no time again, you realize that the bills are not being paid. You are late on most of your bills. Let me just do it partially, part-time. Sometimes some people now come, I want to flexible. I'm looking for a flexible job. In no time. But the reason for that, again, is because this thing I'm telling you, many of you become CEOs, and guess what? What are you still doing? You're still busy working. Instead of what? Networking. And guess the funny thing about networking is never cheap. Networking is never cheap. There's a powerful network I just got now, and this guy, honestly, I know if I maximize that relationship, I'm in for some billions of dollars. That guy owes my ticket to $1 billion. I'm not kidding you. I met him yesterday. But that network, guess what it cost me? That network, right? That network cost me. Is it possible you move to those other chairs so it's easier?
Can you
you
move
can
there,
just
please?
move. So you can move to the last one and then to the next thing. This way. Good morning. You're late for my meeting. I don't like late comers, really. So move to the last one. And that's that. You know what he did now. That's what employees do, not CEOs. I'm sure he's new to being a CEO, right? I'm very sure about that. You can move to the next one. So now this is not easy. Now I just told you of this network of guy, right? That I'm very sure. Except I don't manage that relationship well. That guy holds a ticket to make him billions of dollars. But do you know what it cost me to connect with the guy? I had to do business with him to the tune of $220,000. That's why this thing is not easy. It's not easy. Because a good number of those networks do not do what I do. They don't organize CEO Hangouts and make it free. Even if they're going to do it, it's going to be the most expensive CEO Hangout. So if you can't afford to pay, $50,000, don't come. Right? I have a friend like that here in Dubai. He has a club, but it's an exclusive club. The least cost to be a member of that club is $50,000. The people who are there are either children of very wealthy people or wealthy people themselves. So this network thing ain't gonna be cheap. And this is where many of us then miss it. Remember, we're coming from being an employee to now being what? An employer. So it does not make any sense to you to go and pay $50,000 just because you want to join one network. So what do you continue? You continue working. And guess what? If you are a CEO and you are working, you are going to be worse than this person because you're even going to work more than an employee. By the way, nothing wrong with working. Either way, like I told you, there's still work. Next work. No, there's still work there. So if you are lazy and your solution to overcoming laziness is to go and own your business, you've missed it. Because you're going to work harder being a business owner than even being an employee. So get that one from day one. But what I'm saying is that it's going to be more miserable when you decide to own a business and you refuse to network, because all you're now going to keep doing is more work than you used to do. You're still not going to get the result. You're still not going to get the result. So your mind has to what? To change. Now, this thing I'm saying also applies to C-suites. And C-suites are like COO, CFO, CEOs, CIO, CTO, and also apply to a country representative of any company. If you're a country representative of a company, just know that you are the CEO. Forget the title they give you, branch manager, Dubai. No, you are the CEO of that particular company for that region. Am I making sense at all? So again, if you don't change your mindset, am I making sense at all? From work, what will you do? you will keep doing this, thinking like an employee instead of thinking like the owner. You see the point now? And thinking networking. So you will still be having problems. You will still not be able. So it will still cost you more. It will still cost you tough. So now I'm not saying you go and blow $20,000 like I've done. And by the way, for me, it was real estate investment, so it wasn't a waste in any way. But because it's into real estate, but it's into luxury real estate. And I need to partner with him to start doing some of those things in my own estate in Nigeria. And he has relationship with all these luxury brands like Hyatt, like Six Sense, like Bakinski, and all these high 5-star brands. Right? So patronizing and partnering, you see now, open that door. Okay? But my point is that I'm not going to meet that guy except I'm either his client or I've joined their club where they pay $100,000 to join. You see the point now? And I need to make you understand this, because do not think you meet wealthy people for free. Right? No. The only reason why I run my brand that way is because I started as a motivational speaker, not even as an entrepreneur. So I enjoy inspiring people, teaching people, but there is no core entrepreneur that we do hang out and it's going to be free. It's just not. In fact, it's anti their brand, because when they make it free, they don't attract the kind of people they want to attract. And the kind of people they want to attract, when they see it free, they believe it's a class thing. I'm not going to go join, The reason they will, am I making sense at all? The reason they will come is because, by the way, if you look at the clubs in Nigeria, all these clubs that they visit, you hear that it's 5 million per night, right? Do you know that the real big boys that attend those clubs don't pay? The celebrities, the governors, the ministers, the top politicians, the top entrepreneurs who are famous, they don't pay. It is you that are trying to network upward that need to pay. So the owners of those clubs, we do this event, or this is your own VIP ticket, whatever you can now donate, right, to support the club, no problem. Am I making sense at all? But other people trying to climb up, you have to pay that 5 million. Wake up. You have to. Right? Because again, and the reason why those other people will pay is because they've heard already that it's 5 million. So in their mind, I'm not going to go meet just anybody in the club. So even those that are giving free VIP ticket to say, sir, we need you here, you don't need to pay, but you can donate. Because they know that the cost normally is 5 million. And some of them may even come there and still give them 10 million, more than that. But they won't tell them pay. But they will also come because they know that the caliber of people they will meet. One of my first billionaire friends said this to me. I was shocked. He said, I don't go for any training that's less than $10,000. So I said, wait, I need to learn that one because I don't even know the yardstick to that. And then he smiled. He said, the reason is simple. I'm into construction, right? So the kind of money I need, the kind of contract I need is not something cheap. And anybody that can blow $10,000 on a training is either rich enough to give me contract, or his father is rich enough to give me contract, or the company he works for is rich enough to give me contract. Either way, it's the kind of person I want to meet. Are we learning at all now? So, if there's anything you're learning today, your job is no longer work, it's network. And look for it. In fact, spend 70% of your time doing that. CEO, spend 70% of your time networking with the high caliber of people who have any form of value to offer you. However, those of you who are marketers here, hear me very well. As a good marketer, guess your marketing to. Who can guess? Yeah, guess. It's a good salesman. By the way, all of us are. So if you're CEO, you must be a salesman. In fact, if you're in suit, you must be sales. Even though you may be chief project officer, but trust me, you are still the guy that entered the room that makes, because of your experience in project, and you are busy to market how much project you've handled, you get the contract. So even though you are CPO, you are still entering that boardroom to sell. Right? So what is your biggest strength as a good salesman? Who can tell? Just guess. There's no right or wrong answer. There's no right.
Networking. Maybe still networking.
Networking. No. Promise of a network.
Okay.
Yes. As a good marketer, when you're meeting a potential customer, you're taking time to listen to his needs. And sometimes you even throw the names of your network. Oh, have you met so person? He's the founder of, Abila does that a lot.
Yeah.
You know? He's the founder of the, no, you must meet him. Have you met this person? So right now, even if it's not, I don't necessarily need your product, now I know I have to buy from you if I'll meet those two people. Because now, meeting those two people may be more important to me, I get on, than the product I'm buying from you. Right? Because, and you must network in line with what they do. That, so you must be smart about it. It's not just throwing names around. So, for example, I know you're into real estate, right? And maybe you want to even start building in, let's say, Hungary properties. I'm just giving an example. And I'm saying, oh, have you met the chairman of Emma? Now, you're not going to do anything to build your relationship with me so that you can meet the chairman of Emma. Because meeting the chairman of Emma means Emma will be in Hungary. It's, at least you know what to say to convince him. But at least now you have the opportunity to be in the room with the chairman of Emma. Am I making sense at all? So, and many of us who are salespeople are not smart about that. To know that, look, it's not just about, I'll give you an example. I met this woman, is a client of mine, and she's trying to relocate. So immediately I said to her, oh, we have a hub. We can help you handle business registration, right? We can even host you in your office. What kind of business do you want to do? She mentioned, I started linking her up with people in Dubai who are doing it. Now, do you think she won't do business with me after that? Even if she didn't want to do the business. Now, for the sake of, it will help me do my company registration, it will I will get my office, and all this will be done with integrity without me having to lose money. You link me up with credible people. Now it's even worth the property I want to buy from you. And I'll still get the property. Because for me, that's also why I paid that money. I'm paying you $20,000 to buy a property that is real property is property anyway, right? So I already got the value. I'm getting the value for the property. Either way. I'm not making sense at all. But the question is, do I necessarily want to buy property in the Caribbean at this moment? No. But if buying that property gives me the opportunity to meet somebody that I can convince to come. And by the way, guess what? In 1 hour, the meeting was supposed to be 20 minutes. In 1 hour, I've convinced him, let's start building luxury apartment Banana Island, 5-star. And he's really convinced. So we're starting the preliminary work now to do some research and be sure. So I knew, get me in that room. I'm going to get this guy to be convinced. He's never invested in Africa, but I will convince him. Okay? But I need to be in the room. So if being in the room means I have to buy $20,000 from him, so be it. We have a choice. Have we learned something today? Are we sure? So another method. So I think I'll just stop with network because I think that I'm really hitting it big on this. So another thing you want to do is breakfast, right? So breakfast is very big. So where do they have the most expensive breakfast? As a CEO, you must know that, right? You must know that. And once in a while, go there. Go there. But don't go there like your regular going there. Go there to network. There is no shame. In fact, I said this, I have this quotable quote that says, if you are ashamed of selling, you've written a formal letter to poverty. Right? There's no shame. What is important, and let me tell you this is very important. As long as you're in the room where high net worth people are, they'll give you a respect. Because they know it's not just easy to be in the room. It's now you that may decide to now have low self-esteem, not to be confident to do what you need to do. I'm not making sense at all. Very important. For example, you are in a very expensive golf course. Nobody's going to look down on you. It doesn't matter your age. For you to be there, they know you didn't. And either you are important or your parents are important. Either way, you are still important. To them because rich people are still looking for more money. That I need to let you know, including Dangote. Either looking for more money or better skill or integrity. Sometimes what wealthy people are even looking for is just integrity. Right? I remember one of those meetings, the guy said to me, he said, what's the chance that, I'm not saying you will, but what's the chance that I partner with you and because I'm in your country, you put a gun to my head? Instead of, giving me my share of the deal. I'm like, if I had to say, Nigeria is not that bad. Come on. We don't put gun to people's head. But right there, what's the guy telling you? I'm looking for integrity. Right? But either way, high net worth people are looking for something. So it's you that you are in the room. Don't be seen. Be seen. I had a meeting with a PR lady, and she said, do you know that anytime I go for a meeting, because I'm from Africa, I intentionally wear red lipstick and I put on pink. For visibility. Because guess what? In Dubai, media people were just two known ones. So I have to work harder to be seen. And I'm a woman, for that matter. That even makes it tougher. Right? So I have to. But you see, some of us, you're already in the room. You're not still saying, let me not talk too much so I don't sound foolish. Let me keep quiet. Let me just be. Let them not even know I'm here before they say, walk out. Get out of here. Who brought you here? You're already in the what? In the room. Let them be curious. How did you get here? What got you here? Am I making sense at all? Let them be curious. And you build reputation that way. I was in a meeting and somebody would say this. Say, Dangote had this lady. Do you know this lady? If he doesn't want to go for a meeting, he sends her. Obviously, he trusts her. One of his top aide. Right? Why not build a brand that way? I don't know. Now people, that lady has built reputation that people now know that she's as good as Dangote. I don't know that you get what I'm saying. She's as good that this person. But do you know, she will have also, because there's a difference between Dangote sending her and she's also feeling that I'm not Dangote, so they'll be looking down on me. She must have made a positive impression in people. Right? That not only is she representing the man trusts her. Right? And this is a trustworthy person. Are we learning at all? So go order expensive breakfast. Right? Go and learn golf. I started learning golf some years ago and I'm getting good at it. I'm quite good now. Right? But I didn't know how to play golf. But I heard rich people do it. I learned. Right? But when you go there, mind you, go and network. Be polite. Don't just eat your food alone and then leave. No, that's not the time to prove. That's the time to walk up and be the most polite person. How are you, sir? So, for example, instead of eating on a separate table, when you have your meal, particularly if you're a lady, sir, can I join you? Trust me, he's not going to say no. Are we together now? He's not going to say no. Can I join you? So join a table. Not that go and pick your own single table. Join a table and strike conversation there. My name is this. I'm from so country. Right? First of all, they're already curious. How come you're there? Are we together? And they're fascinated. They want, even your audacity is fascinating. I was having a dinner one day in Eco Hotel. Eco Signature. Now, Eco Hotel is one of the top hotels, known hotel in Nigeria, but now they were quite clever. At some point, they realized that the main building is quite old. They now built a more recent one, furbish it, and now call it Signature. So it's now a bit more expensive, like 50,000 Nigerian, like about $100 higher than the other ones. And so when you say you're in that hotel, you want to ask, when you mention the two, they know which one you are. If you just mention, so when you mention the Signature, they know, oh yeah, now you are, yes, you're higher. So we're having breakfast, me and two of my students who pay for my coaching program. I have this coaching program of $20,000. And so I host, it's a high net worth, so those ones, I even host them on, breakfast, and all those stuff. So at some point, I noticed she was moving from table to table. I noticed when she was even eating her own food. But later, she started moving from table to table. So at that point, I knew, I'm a marketer myself, so I knew this is a marketer who probably paid for breakfast, right? And obviously, the main intention was to sell all of us who were having breakfast there. And I knew that whatever she was selling was going to be very expensive. And by the time she got to my table, it was true. She works for one of the African banks. So it's like a bank owned by the African government called Afrizim. So, and then they have this exhibition, and the cheapest slot for the exhibition is $1 million. Yeah. So So now you see why she was. She was in that, because obviously she went for the highest. And I won't be surprised if the next day she intends to top the top most expensive hotels. Maybe the next day is George Hotel, then Whitbakers, and Joss. And before you know it, in 2 weeks, she already has the network. And she was so polite to say, I know if you're into Agric, if you're not into Agric, anybody into Agric. My older brother is into Agric Export, and it's the idea. I had the number. For her to have had breakfast there, I didn't care whether it's a CEO that paid for the breakfast, but I knew she's a person that I'm safe giving her contact. I'm not making sense at all. But she could have gotten there and be shy to be. And for me, the audacity for her to even walk up to us already just, I'm a salesman myself. So I was just like, I need to support someone like this. Have we learned something at all?
Yes.
So look for breakfasts. They are quite expensive. Don't be part of it. Don't be part of it. Another is events. Look for events to sponsor. How far with Williams? Do you follow up? Right? Look for events to sponsor. Are we together now? Big events. It costs you some money. But yeah, go there. Ask that they should give you an opportunity to speak. Right? To be in the panel, because those are also how, particularly when the other people in the room are high net worth individuals. Are we learning at all? Okay. So I think that's what I have for you today. I thought you would clap. Did I not? So let me take a few questions, and then we're going to spend the remaining 30 minutes just exchanging contacts and seeing how we can partner. Okay? So let's take questions. If you have questions, please, you have the floor. Who wants to go first? Questions? Yeah? Anyone? No question.
I think basically because most of the things you share we already follow, so we know some answers to some of those things. But maybe, okay, my name is Olusegun Yetunji. Thank you for the opportunity once again, and thank you for your friendship and mentorship over the years. Okay, I know, like, your expansion, so I'm just going to ask this again. There's a difference between your business is growing and you're expanding sideways, people are expanding for different reasons. What's your mind, as a CEO, what's your mindset in handling the expansion? I know your employees may not see the reason sometimes because they don't have the vision. But when you're approaching expansion, sometimes it's not just because you want to make more money, but you want to probably do some other things. So how do you approach your expansion opportunities? If I can ask that way.
Well, I think as a CEO, one of the things you must do is to make sure that the expansion is also to the benefits of the people who work with you. Right? So the way I spin it is, hey, if you really do well, now you can, instead of working from Nigeria, you can be working from Dubai. Or working from, like 2 of our team in Nigeria now are going to London, are being moved to London. There's also one that will soon come, one of the top salesperson will soon be moved to Dubai, a couple of them. So they're also able to see that it's in their interest. I mean, who doesn't want to work outside Africa, right? So I think to get their buy-in is to also make it be in their interest. If what they are saying, for example, my expansion is quite weird. My team are shocked that I'm not even intending to move to the countries I'm expanding to, and they are even the ones I'm trying to move to those places. So that way they're saying like, look, this is in our own best interest, because as the company grows now, some of us can start earning foreign currency and things like that. So I think that's number one way to go about it. Number two is also to help them understand how it helps the company to become stable. Like I had to help our people to know that, look, as we're expanding in Nigeria, we're building 25,000 green and smart home. If we do not have assets in foreign exchange, well, our dream is as good as a fantasy, right? So the expansion internationally is still in the best interest of the Nigerian expansion. A lot of times customers don't even know this, and that reminds me of this. Let me even do a video on this for customers so that they know, because I'm not sure I've done enough conversation as to why we're expanding and the interest for the customers. Right? Because I've seen situations where real estate companies crash in Nigeria because of the dollar, and it's already happening. And if the dollar price is already 570, 600, if it hits 1,000, a lot of real estate companies are just going to close shop. Right? So, but being able to diversify your assets, right, and still have some source of funding, right, in FX, helps you, even if your Nigerian income is already turned to nothing, because the value of the cash you've gotten is as good as zero. What then happens is that your international businesses can support your local businesses. So, but you have to communicate that with your partners, with your investors, with everybody, to see, so that they know that, look, this is still in your interest, that when you bought land from us in Nigeria, our ability to also expand internationally means that we're not just going to have to, crash and declare bankruptcy, right? Because we also have a foreign business that's able to support the Nigerian business if there's a need for that, right? And that way, customers are seeing it in a whole different light. So I think that's one of the ways to approach it, but also be willing to put pressure on the expansion to be productive. Like we had to put a lot of pressure on the Dubai business to start making money, because we can't just keep changing naira, and it's getting more expensive, and to try and help the Dubai business. And I'm happy now that, in fact, in August, what the Dubai business did was, again, because of the advantage of FX, was more than 2 branches in Nigeria combined, right? So we're going to put that pressure also on Dubai to say, hey, you got to bring money, you got to sell. Now, that is putting more pressure on me, the CEO, so I'm having to move, because sometimes I need to be the one to market these things in Dubai to make it work. So anytime I'm around, for example, our sales grows in terms of the properties we sell here, right? So even if it's to just come, do one, we quickly sell, so that I know the Dubai office at least will have had some commission for operation, so that at the end of the month there's not too much burden on the Nigerian business. I'm going to the US now, tonight. Again, spend a couple of weeks, see how you could do things for the US company. Then from there, go to London again, spend 2 weeks time, and then come. So you're having to shuttle to make sure at least bring something into the table, so that these foreign or expansions are not a liability to the growing local business that you started.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, anybody else? And I think that should be helpful to you guys coming from Hungary. Yes, you have a question.
Yes, I wanted to ask, since you are present in so many continents, so many different countries, like, can you give some advice or examples that what are those key features or skills that you need to have for being able to manage this huge company and so many different things, because every continent has their own special things. Like, what are, like you mentioned networking, that it's really important to be successful, but what else?
Some other skills when you are in so many countries. I think it still goes back to number one, networking, because if you have the right set of partners in those countries, they are going to guide you right. They're going to link you with other people who are critical. But I think number two is to be liberal, but still prudent. So I have a rule where my rule is we can spend money, but we must make it back. So if you're coming to me and say, I want to work with you, Dr. Stephen, but I must get X and Y in salary, the next question is going to say, how do you make it? Like, there's a person we're employing for C-suite, Chief Compliance Officer, and she has a legal background. But what she's charging she wants to collect her salary. It's just ridiculous. But what I've decided to do is to say to my team, I said they should do a meeting, me and her. And I want to ask her and say, can we start offering legal services to other people? Right? If that will, because I know law is big in Dubai, you know that, and because she's Arabic, and so being Arabic, being a lawyer, that's which is also why she's charging that kind of ridiculous money. But now is to say, can we provide legal services, consultation, support to people? And so many people can't even afford a lawyer, and they run into issues here in Dubai. Some just literally run away once it becomes a legal issue. All right? But can we provide that service? And that way, that could also increase our chance to being able to afford to pay you that kind of money. So rather than saying no, right, to what somebody is saying, we can't afford it. No, actually, I think you want to begin to think of, okay, how do we monetize? Right? Because sometimes the best skills or the best partnership or the best relationship will cost you. Right? It will come. So it's just to think through it and say, so how does it get monetized? How do I still make sure something comes out of it? Right? So for me, like I told you now, meeting that guy, $220,000. If I monetize it to building a luxury apartment in Banana Island, what is $220,000? I mean, my profit margin on that property cannot be less than $100 million if we do it in Banana Island. So it's knock off $220,000. So that's the way your mind, the skill that you need. Your mind has to think monetization rather than think just being conservative. Because sometimes as entrepreneurs, all we are thinking is conservative. Cut it down. Don't spend it. Don't even touch it. We cannot afford it. We cannot. Rather than thinking, okay, if we were to afford it, am I making sense to talk? Yes. How does it turn to money? More money, rather. So that we know that, well, fine, we spent, but we made it back. So you have to have that skill. The third skill is that you must have what we call largeness of heart. Largeness of heart is a skill that helps you to be able to compartmentalize issues. So I'll give you an example. As I am in Dubai, all the challenges happening to the Nigerian business is so well compartmentalized that I am not, by the way, the bigger your business go, the more the challenges, issues of, either somebody's trying to steal from you, whether somebody's trying to play pranks on you, so you then have issues that just get you almost like, why? We got one particular list we're trying to do. This guy, got half of part payment of the money, right? Refused to give us access to the property. Now they're telling us 3 months that, they will charge money for 3 months. Out of 10 million naira, they're just going to give us 900 and something thousand for a property you didn't give us access to. Right? So you're going to get things that just want to make you run mad. Like, are you kidding me? Right? So, for example, it's like you did a lease here in Dubai, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say it was 100,000 dirhams. Now you deposited 25,000 dirhams, and you said, "Give me agreement. Let's look at it." You adjusted the agreement. They didn't return the agreement. You didn't do anything. You didn't sign anything. Only for them to come 3 months later and say they're deducting cost of the agreement, they're discussing agency. Like, are you guys, but you have to compartmentalize it. You don't let it affect, now you're in Dubai, you are reacting over something that happened in Lagos. Right? And, you enter the office, you're just moody with your staff, you're just not smiling, you're just all, no. So it takes a higher level of, that's why I call it largeness of heart, where your heart is able to take so much challenges and you can compartmentalize it. That is a Lagos issue. Do this, and put it aside. This is an Abuja issue. Do this, push it aside. Don't solve it. Don't bring it back to me until you have done what I've asked you to do. This is a London issue. Do this, put it aside. This is a US issue. This is an Ibadan issue. This is a Dubai issue. Right? So, a lot of it includes being well with your spirit. So it's a bit much of spiritually, just being at peace with yourself, so that you're emotionally, spiritually clear. Like, it's clear. Because if you're not clear, you can't compartmentalize issues. They all just pile up. One day you just have depression. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. So you be clear, right? Spend time meditating, spend time, doing deep thinking, spend time being at peace with yourself, about you, about who you are, about your personality, about what you love about. For example, what kills many of us is that we've not even come to accepting who we are. So, for example, if I don't like the fact that I'm a very tough person, right? I'm one of the nicest person you can meet. But I'm at peace with the fact that I need to be tough to make progress in life. But when you are still in the middle, you don't know whether you should be tough or you should just be nice all through. Do you see now? So you are still having conflict in yourself as to how do I relate to the world? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Do I just want to be nice and everything, just be nice to everybody? Or do I just want to be very principled? Right? For example, there's no way to put in the fact that he's late. I want to be nice to him, but he's late for my meeting. I got to tell him, sir, you're late. I can find a way to put it in polite way. Sir, mister, but you're late. But you see where we have problem? Something you tells you to tell him he's late. Something you is saying, no, but that's rude. So you are in conflict with yourself. So you don't even know which one you want to do. Deep on your inside, you're in conflict. Now, when you are that way, you can't do what I'm doing. Because you're still battling with so many issues as to, even when it comes to your employees, right? What are the rules, right? Is it going to be based on merit or is it going to be based on who is nice? Like in our company, I tell my staff every day, you don't need to greet me good morning. Just do your job. Right? I'm not going to eat good morning. Do you see? Now, some other employers want in the morning all the employees, good morning, sir. They want, now whether you don't do your job, as long as you treat the boss well, everybody, how are you, sir? Welcome, sir. Chairman, good to have you in our office. That protocol is everything to some employer. But you have to pick one. If that's so important to you, don't be angry they're not productive. Right? Because they've had to waste so much time learning how protocol of treating their CEO, right? And how to play the politics of who treats the CEO nice than the other one. Okay? So you created the monster that you're seeing. So you as the CEO have to be at peace. What will be my model, even relating with those who work with me? Will it be based on merit? Will it be based on protocol or certain cultural values that will determine whether I'm promoting what people or not? Will it also be a blend of, excellence and hard work and faithfulness? Right? Because the higher you go as a CEO, because there's a lot at stake, then you need to start introducing what we call faithfulness. So it's no longer just being skillful. It's that I'm also going to only work with somebody that I'm sure, right, will not mix my money with his or her money. I don't know whether you understand. You have to. One of my associates here helped me. I gave her money to help me get something. And so at some point it dawned on me that, I needed some change. So I said, I have some change with this person. Right? My first thinking went to say, maybe she forgot to drop it. And do you know my thought told me she did not forget. Look around, you find the money. And I looked around and I found the money. That's another level of what? Faithfulness and trust. That the person won't even forget. You don't understand. Won't even forget. I'm not saying, we're not talking about maybe the person stole the money. That, oh, forget to give you your change. My subconscious told me that this person does not have the behavior of even forgetting such. Look around. And I looked at it and I saw it. So as you go higher, those factors begin to change. Sometimes now, yes, I need skill, but I also need that level of what? Faithfulness. That this person ain't going to mix what is not with what. Right? And there are people like that. I'm also like that. I can't just mix your money with mine. And they know me. Ordinary commission, I'm the one putting pressure. Right? Oh, you sold this, let's pay your commission ASAP. I don't want to mix your, even though I'm the one that chose to say, I will give you X when we sell X. Okay? But that your X I've already promised you, mentally is no longer my money. It's no longer the company's money. Let's give it to you and move on. Right? So we have to look into ourselves and have peace. And yeah, do you have weaknesses? Yes, that's also another thing you need to deal with. You ain't going to be perfect. Be okay with you. Right? Nobody is perfect, by the way. Nobody is. Right? But when you're still too... Now, that does not also not mean it's a license for you not to want to be a better person. That's what I'm saying here. But, in quest to be better, know that, okay, I'm going to work harder on that. But it's not as if I'm so much in conflict that I hate me. That's the biggest issue. Many of us are not even comfortable with ourselves. Right? So much so that it then makes it difficult for us to be able to do multiple things. Make sense at all? Another part that you also have to, if you want to be able to do that, understand that evil and good are Siamese twins that cannot be separated. So don't live life with so much of expecting things to be so good, so perfect. Evil shouldn't exist. Right? That you not get yourself so depressed when evil comes. Because it just works both ways. Right? And when it comes, deal with it decisively. For example, people will betray you. Just expect it. Right? When it comes, deal with it decisively, move on. But to be a CEO and think they will never betray me. People will never try to steal from me. That you are the one that has problem. Because that is normal as life. So just say to yourself, when this happens, how do I treat it? What will it be treated as professional, as sound as this? As if somebody still get the police involved. In our office, for example, something goes wrong, we just get the law involved. It's the rule. There's no beg the MD. There's no. You've broken the law. Let the law take care of it. And it doesn't matter who. Relations, no relations. That's why in our company, I don't even have any of my relations. Okay? So that there's no issue. I get that's also another thing you need to balance. Do you want to involve relations? Right? Do you not want to? Now, there's no crime relations being involved. For me, it's just that I'm not going to beg for relations. So my younger brother joined our company one day. That day was the last day he worked with us. Why? He started giving me conditions. He wanted to close earlier than everybody else. He wanted to be paid more than others. And I said, it's not going to happen here. It's not going to happen. Right? It's not going to happen. I will treat you just like everybody else. Prove yourself. In fact, that you are my relations should be why you should prove yourself even more. So, and I say, yes, don't you see my younger brother, see how much you work other than all of you. So you can't do that. I'm sorry. You can't work here. And that was the last day he worked. So those are part of my rules. I'm not going to bend rules for one. I sacked my wife from our company before. My wife. She's still my wife. I don't have two wives. One. I sacked her, set up another smaller company, gave it to her to manage. Now you know when I say I'm a tough person, eh? Okay. Because all the time when I tell people I'm a tough person, we just say, he's not. He's a soft-spoken guy. You know, what does he mean by he's tough? Eh?
Sometimes you have to be fair. You have to...
But I think at least hearing that I sacked my wife now, I appreciate it. So it's not personal. When I sack you, I tell people if I sack you, it's not personal. Right? It's not like if I could sack my wife, if my younger brother could. So, I mean, who are you? Are you more important to me than my wife? No, so it's not personal. It's not even like I hate you at all. It's not. I sacked her and I still ate in the house and she's still my beloved wife. We still have 3 kids together. I'm still joining her tomorrow. I can't wait to see her and the kids on holiday and all that. She still remains the love of my life. But for this business, and funny enough, she still remains the co-owner of the same business. Right? I mean, it's not like ownership of the company changed, but this is business. I think the person who appreciates me more is my wife. My wife really, a lot of time when I say people, you don't know me, just go and meet my wife. I think she knows me better than most of you do. My wife don't take me for granted. I don't take her for granted either. But experience has taught her to know that, I made my wife signatory to her corporate account before marrying her. That's the kind of person I am. Right? She was my next of kin before marriage. That's who I am. Okay? Aha. But the same person still sacked her. And where she's the next of kin. That's how principled I am. So she knows me better. I know that, look, my husband is a very principled person and just likes that you respect him for that. Don't in my house, by the way, in the house, I don't make decisions except for key core decisions. What to eat, how we do holiday. If I get to my house, I go straight to my room. If they give me food, thank you. If they don't give me, I'm not angry. My wife runs the house. Right? I don't even compete. Whatever you give me, I'm contented. Okay. But in business, I run this business and I have the final say. And so that's the way we've worked it. And we don't take each other for granted. If I want to eat meat in my house that I invited, I take my wife's permission to eat meat. So I want to take some meat. Right? That's the level of respect and, this is what you run. And the business she runs, I make sure I don't just barge into her office without telling her. So I'm that kind of person. My own is just respect things, put protocol in place, put principles in place, and just stick to it. I hope I've answered.
Yes, that's really great.
Yeah. So how do you guys cope? How do you combine there's cultural differences, there is, who's older between two?
The same age.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so, but there's cultural difference, so how do you handle it?
In the beginning it was quite a little bit rough, but the most important thing is I think it's about what kept us going, which was like we were thinking towards the same goal. We had the same mission.
Are you dating or something?
Yes, she's my fiancée.
Oh my God.
But just recently.
I didn't just want to go. I don't want to, so you have to know how to navigate this question. Right? Exactly. So, because I want to know, because doing partnership is one of the most complex things that you can do. But it's always easier when there is a relationship involved. We both know that we're joined together for life, so it makes sense. That's fine.
So we've been together for almost 9 years now. And
So when did the relationship enter?
Immediately, just like 1 year after we met, we
Why did
became
you
more
not say
serious.
recently?
But I mean, fiancé, so I engaged her 3.5 years ago. But before then, we already started the company and everything.
But you were still, there was a romantic involvement from the beginning. That you gave her a ring 3.5 years ago.
At first, there was the relationship, then the company.
Yes, but the most important thing is because of the joint goal and
Yes.
mission that we have. Because in Hungary is really small, and the international community back then when I first arrived was 2012. It was really, really small, and it's always the Hungarian situation versus an international situation, and it's a country where you have Hungarian as the national language. So out of every 20 people you will see, you might not even see one that speaks English. And there are challenges, the laws, rules, regulations are very, very strict. And because of this, for every foreigner, it doesn't matter who you are, whether you have money, whether you don't have money, you will certainly face challenges, either relating to cultural adaptation, getting yourself settled down, and all sorts of things. Even with the university alone, it's a big challenge. So then
So you met in the university?
No, we just met a normal outing with my friends and we started communicating. She was very smart and she thinks I was smart too, and then we started communicating and then we started saying that, oh, we are similar in this
Have
and
a
that.
love song at the back. Let's also play a love song. Because it seems like a love story.
So at the end of the day, I started like representing the Nigerian students in Hungary, but in Debrecen specifically, I was the accommodation officer for everyone. And then we got approval directly from the ambassador. Then it was Dr. Niola from Ekiti State. She was the ambassador of Nigeria to Hungary. And then, she was like our mother there. She put us through certain challenges, we always run to her, and she was really helpful. So because of this exposure, it made me realize, oh, there are actually more issues on ground than what we thought. It's already getting to the point where people from other cities, from Szeged, Page, Budapest, where we have the biggest international community in the whole of the countries, start reaching out to me, reaching out to us, our company, for similar situations like, oh, we have issues with our accommodation, the landlord is this, we would like to purchase a flat for our kids, and we got recommendation from you. By the way, we are from Dubai, and we are the parents of this person, and I'm sure you know this person's who has their child, and you helped them purchase a flat last month ago, who like similar stuff, the same, location and everything. So this is how it started. Then from then, we started like having more and more calls from recommendation to recommendation. It started growing and growing, and we just kept doing what we are doing, because at the end of the day, meaning we are getting this doesn't mean we should cut our coat. Actually, we should cut our coat more than our size. So we like to keep the size that we still fit in. So at the end of the
when
day,
are you getting married? That's the question.
by the grace of God, by next year,
Next year.
we are thinking of this summer.
So
We were planning this year, but I lost my mom last year, so it was like a pretty tough time for my family and for myself. So I'm still in that, I gave myself a 1 year money period. She was my first love, We were pretty close, but because of studies and because I was far from home since 2012, actually, like my sister, she lives here in Dubai before she moved to the United States, so we're always just meeting here. Then I go back, due to studies and everything. So at some point in my adult life, we're like a little bit space from ourselves. So because of this, it was really a great loss for me. And she really helped me through it too. And at the same time,
mother. Why did you play the love music? Okay, that's fine. Don't worry. We're done. So once again, thank you all for coming. I hope that we're able to strike good relationship, amongst each other. Feel free to exchange contacts. If you want to see me, I'm available to see you too. Thank you. God bless you. Have a good time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Those of you joining us all live, we love you. Bye bye.
I think maybe a career introduction, sir, because you came late during the...
Yes.
My name is Alayode Tunde Oluwabunmi. Ayode from Oyo State, Nigeria. So I'm into real estate here, estate sales, new mix real estate.
New mix real estate.
Yes.
Brokerage company, right?